Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, today I'm going to do a coil restoration. The particular coil is off a 76 RM250 Suzuki, and I've done this, I think I've done one video on it before. I've done this several times. The Suzuki coils lend themselves very well to this procedure. You can replace all the wiring on them and not have a problem, or you shouldn't have. You just got to be careful how you do it, and just be kind of methodical when you're digging out the parts and everything. But with all the early Suzukis that I've done, I've been able to do this, and it hadn't been too bad a job. It's the Nippon-Denso, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, Nippon-Denso coils with this long top on it like this where the wire goes in. That's what we're working on. The Yamaha coils for the early enduros, you can't do this. You're just going to ruin the coil. If it's already bad, then it's not a big issue, but you know, if you're trying to help things along, you're going to have to do it a different way. So let's get on with this, and we'll go through restoring, repairing the RM250 coil. All right, got another coil here that it's testing okay, but it needs a little care. And this is a Suzuki Nippon-Denso coil, and most of these can be, the wire can be changed out. You've just got to take this potting off right here, and you can usually just pull that right out and reinstall it, a new one. So we're gonna see what we do here, or what we can do. Turn my grinder on here. And not all coils can you do this. I've had good luck with the Nippon-Denso. A lot of the Yamaha coils, you can't do it. You'll mess it up. Sometimes you got to kind of dig them out. Got to go a little further up, I think. You want to try to not cut the wire, and I've already done that a little bit. But sometimes you have to just kind of drill them out. Let me dig around on this one a little bit more. All right, see if we can drill it out a little bit here. On these, you'll have a little probe sticking up down in the bottom. That you will eventually get to. That's the rubber and the wire coming out of there. I haven't felt it yet, but Let's see how far we're down. Yeah, I ought to be running into the little needle anytime. I think I'm there now. Let me see if I can get a needle nose or something in there to finish pulling the rest of it out. You just kind of get in there and dig around a little bit and see if you can get a hold of it. I'm just using a scribe. Should have a lot of, there's some glue in there yet. There we go. There's the old wire. All right, and I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see it, but the hole is clear all the way down, and there's a spike in the bottom. I'm gonna wiggle it around here. Hopefully you can see it. It's just a spike in the bottom that is going to go into the wire of the new cable, and that's really all you got to do. See, they glue it in, and here's the end where it went into the spike. So all we've got to do is create the same deal. We're just gonna attach or cut our new wire and put a little bit of glue up around closer to the top. We don't need it all the way down there like they did, but you'll just make that and slide it back in there and let it dry, let it set up. I'm going to use a little epoxy. I've done this once before on another Suzuki cable, another Suzuki coil rather, and that I've done a video on. I've done it many times, but the Nippon Denzos, as far as I have messed with them, I've been able to fix every one of them that had a broken or a cut spark plug wire. So we'll just cut us a new length, and it'll be a little bit longer, and I'm going to try to get this extra little protector off of this one so I can use it on the new one. Don't know whether I'll have any luck doing that or not. Let me see if I can get her done. Alright, I think they've kind of got it stuck with something inside there. I thought maybe I could use some sleeving, but it appears to be a little bit small. It's probably the same size as this, so it would have a hard time getting it in there. So I'm just trying to work that loose. If there's something in there, it'll pull a little bit from the other end, but I can't seem to get the whole thing to come off. Let me try the vise again. Okay, I got it off. I think it was just had a little bit of the adhesive in there, just a little bit, and it was sticking right about in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my wire a little bit longer. This is 7mm, and I just want to look at the old boot and everything. See, it's made a lot like this, where you've got the screw-in stud in the bottom of the spark plug connector here, and that's only in here. It just pushes in. There's no screwing into it. So let me prep this a little bit. We're going to make this wire just a little bit longer. That way we can use it on other things if we need to. But again, with these, it's not a big deal because you can pull them out of there if you need to. But I think I'm just going to add a couple inches to it. Oh, wait a minute! I've got to remember. I've got whatever length is going to go in there too, so that would have been still short. So if we're at that, and I'm still got to push it in probably a 1/2 inch, so then extend it a couple inches. That's what we'll do. We can always cut it off. And remember, it's got to have wire in it. This is 7mm solid wire. Solid copper. All right, let me kind of get situated here. Now another issue I've got here is the wire that goes right here is split. Now you can do that a couple different ways. You can put a new wire on it, like I'm going to elect to do, or you can just put a little dab of caulking or sealant of some sort on it. But if you take the putty off, you can get to it and put a new wire on it. Just kind of slow as it goes. Starting to see already where it fastens to it. And when you get it pretty close, it's time to get your soldering iron out again, just like on the stator coils. And you just kind of melt and chip away at the sealant. Until you can find the eyelet that it's soldered into. I think we've about got it there. See, the soldering iron, it just kind of chunks off of there once you get everything going. So there's where it is going to unsolder from. I'm going to get my little vise out so I can kind of hold on to that while I pull the wire out. Okay, just going to put it in the other side here. This just gives me a little way that I can pull on it a little bit. And we just start heating the terminal now to release the solder. May have to get more of a soldering iron. I'm just kind of holding a steady pressure on it, but I think I'm going to have to get a little bigger soldering iron to get this to release. I'm melting whatever's on top, but it's just not getting far enough down. Got a little more sealant on there too. Needs to come off. trying to melt it. There it came. All right. And that's just it's kind of a little horseshoe looking thing, looks like, that it fits in. All right, so I'm going to get my connector and my wires set up here. All right, I'm going to get the other wire disconnected also. And what I've done here is I've just taken a magic marker and marked the black on this end, so I know that the black one goes there, and of course the other one goes on the other side. Just I don't have, or at least right now I can't find any white with a blue tracer. I'm probably going to have to use white with a black tracer, so it really won't make a whole lot of difference. It's what I've got, and that's what we'll use if we have to. So on this side, actually let me just see if I can get it to chip off with the soldering iron. It's melting it pretty good. Just keeps them steady. Yeah, look at there. Looky there. It just pulled right off of there. All right. So we can get in here and see if we can get her disconnected. Wish Yamaha would do this. Of course you could use these on a Yamaha. Alright, same deal. Just kind of a U-shaped thing that it fits on top of, and then you just solder it onto. So let me get this, let's see, what do we need to do here? I guess we just need to try to get this clamp pulled apart. And then on this end, we just need to pull our connectors up out of the connector housing, or the terminals up out of the housing. That one seems to be a little stuck. We don't care about messing these up because we're just going to replace those and still use the housing. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that one. I have some new housings, but if I don't have to use them, then that's a good thing. So we can just go ahead and clip these ends off, the terminals, and you just pull that out. Of course the blue one was the male. So I don't think we're going to need any of this. We'll just replace the sheathing along with it. I've got a piece of black or white with a black tracer. And again, we'll make it just a little bit longer. Let's see. Go a little bit further down so I have room to put my connector on. And I've got some black too. I thought I had that out. Huh. I laid it out here. I don't know what I did with it. Alright, and then the same thing with our black wire. And just increase that length just a little bit. It's longer than the other one anyway because it's got to go around the other side. So let me find some sheathing. Okay, and just follow suit on the sleeving by a little bit too. Okay, and black one's going to go around to this side here. So we'll get that stripped. And of course this one too. A little more. Alright. Okay, I just went over to the sand blaster, the bead blaster, and just kind of took care of the rust that was on these ends here. Just turned it down very low so I wouldn't damage any of the area around here. And I don't think it would hurt anything, but all we want to do is get the rust cleaned off. This is my black end here, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that back into the vise. And I'm going to get a little bit of flux here just to make sure we get a good clean bond. Okay, I've just got a little flux that I'm going to use to just kind of clean that area. And if you've never used it, it kind of works in conjunction with the heat. Okay. So I'm going to get a little, if I can get this to stay put. Oh boy, I may have to get my holder out. I thought I could just tin this wire real quick so I can solder it right onto it. Alright, I think we've got it. Okay, so one end's on, and I'll go ahead and get the other one on. Okay, I've got both wires attached back to the coil, and I've got to get one of them stripped here. So I think I may have to cut my sleeving back just a little bit, because I've got to be able to slide this back far enough to get the, I added to it, I always do, and a lot of times I end up having to cut some of it off. But that's better than not having enough, right? Yeah, that ought to give us enough room. And again, you can double check your work here by what is left. I got the white and the blue into the male bullet connector. So it's going to go this way. And of course it's going to fray out on me. I think I've got enough there to get it taken care of. All right, and we get our bullet connectors prepped here, and the male goes on that one. There's our female. And there's our male. And once you get those in, you just kind of work them back into the connector. They don't always like to go. You have to kind of guide them. But they will. There, I think it's going now. There we go. This one down a little further. There. Okay, so there's our rebuilt connector. We've got our sleeving, and we've got a new wire on here. And I'll pot these when I get the spark plug terminal wire in. Let's see here if I can just grab a little bit of that. And we've got our new one. It's you can see the exposed wire here. And actually I want to peek up inside there and make sure I got all the, yep, everything's out. And like I say, I don't know whether you can see up in there or not, but that terminal just right there in the middle, and that's what's going to go up inside the new spark plug wire. Okay, so we've got that in there, and we just go ahead and slide this in, and we want to push it onto that wire, or onto that spike at the bottom. So we need to make sure it goes on, maybe give it a little twist. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I got that up in there, and I forgot I need to put a little bit of epoxy on it. So I'm just using the JB Weld Quick. Approximately equal parts there. Mix it up good. And so it's going up to about the A there, so I'm just going to put this kind of right about here. You don't need it all the way to the bottom. Okay. Now, back to what we did before. Just get that down in there, and then it actually goes in, and it goes up to about the A there is what I had, and it kind of pushes it out. And I'm just going to take a little bit more. Just kind of seal it. All right. So that should be good. And we'll just let that set up. And while that's setting, we'll put some insulating varnish on the terminals. You could probably use the JB Weld for that, but this I know is made to insulate, so that's what I'm going to use. This is for like electric motors, and I use it on the CDI units and stuff that I've been rebuilding. So I know it works. And all that's to do is to do just like the sheathing on the wire does. That it just insulates from, you know, if you're close to a metal object or something like that, it's going to insulate that enough to keep from having any electrical discharge or anything. And I'll probably have to put a little bit more on after that dries. But we're going to let that set for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and try to finish it up. Okay, I think we're pretty well done. Things are dried up as they should be. We can go ahead and add our cap. I just took all these other pieces, little rubber pieces, and took them in. I'm going to have to lube that. Took them in and cleaned them up in the sink a little bit. And you know, just do the best you can. I'm just going to put a little Rouglide on that to get that to slide up there where it needs to go. Looks like I might need to put a little in there too. All right. And we'll go ahead and this just screws on. That's like a little screw inside the cap there. Now Suzuki tells us that we check this with the cap on. Not all the manufacturers do that. Okay, I think that's just about got it. And we can slide this back down, and that'll weatherproof that end of the coil again. I've got the little extension or protector, I guess, there. I think that's in case it's up close to the head or something. And then we can just go ahead and put that piece on too. So we're all good, I think. So now all we need to do is just go ahead and test the coil. And I'm going to do this a couple different ways. Okay, it tells me to check the primary, which is these two wires here. And we should be 0.17 to 0.70 ohms. And looks like we're landing at about 0.5. So we're good. 0.17 to 0.70 ohms. Okay. So then we'll go from the blue and white wire to the spark plug connector, and it says we should be 13 to 20 k ohms, and that's what I'm seeing, 17.32 k ohms. So we're good, falling right in the middle. Okay. Okay, I've got my coil tester set up here. Let me see if I can get you up a little ways. Okay, I've got the coil setting here and the my two lead wires in here and the secondary right there. And I've got to get you down kind of close so I can so you can see the spark. Okay, hopefully you can see it. Good hot one. Just in case you didn't, I'm going to get you a little. Okay, again we've got the coil here. It's hooked up to the secondary and the primary. And let's get you over here. And I've got the light on now. Oops, I guess I unplugged it. All right, here we go. All right. So I think we're good to go. Restoration of RM 250 coil. Okay, that's pretty much takes care of the restoration and repair of the coil. And I mean, all you're doing is just kind of cleaning it up, putting new wires on it, and that's really it. Now, a word of caution, not all coils can you do this. I've had very good luck with the Nippon-Dizzo ND coils on the Suzukis. Every one that I've ever done, I was able to do this with. The Yamahas on the enduros, you can't do it. You can't change that wire out. It's part of the coil, it's made in there. You're just going to ruin it if you do what I did, because I have done it. And now there may be other Yamaha coils, but the normal ones that come on the early enduros, you can't do it to. So this is what we did. We changed out the primary wiring and the secondary wire, and everything is back as it should be, and it's been tested with the ohm meter and on the coil tester, and everything is good to go. Okay guys, there you have it. We've pretty well repaired anything that we can repair on the Suzuki RM 250 coil, and we verified it, made sure that it would work. So we know we have a good product there. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.